how's it going? Today we're going to be doing here a Kozmo deck profile because it is May the 4th, so I figure it's definitely very appropriate to actually do a deck profile on this, so I hope you're all excited, but without further ado, let's just get started. To begin, we're playing 3 copies here of Dark Destroyer, definitely a very crucial card, one of the key cards, and I'm very happy that it is at 3 copies, definitely quite a pleasing thing. And I do wish that I had 3 copies of the secret rare, but unfortunately for the time being I'll just have to work with the gold rare. Next, we're playing here 1 Dark Eclipser and 1 copy of Forerunner. I think both of these cards are definitely really nice cards to actually incorporate into the deck, firstly for them being different levels, but also for the fact that they have really interesting effects. Dark Eclipser working against trap cards, and I still do see plenty of trap cards being worked around in this particular format, so Dark Eclipser definitely is quite an appropriate card to play at least at 1 of. Moving down the line, we have here the Dogfighter. I chose to play this over the Landwalker because of the fact that I could just special summon out extra monsters to set up kind of like a board of defense, which is very nice for what it is, and it also has just a really nice 2400 defense, making it really effective for what it is. Next, we're playing here 1 copy of Delta Shuttle. Delta Shuttle is definitely a really interesting card, but I do like the card for what it is in this particular deck, and I think it works out quite well for me. Moving on, we're playing 3 copies of Sliprider, still a really amazing card, just deals with the opponent's spells and traps, but mainly it's for the field spells that your opponent has, so this card is actually really good for what it is. Moving on here, we're playing 2 copies of Dark Lady. I think monster effect negation is definitely a very key thing you need to do right now and prioritize, so as a result, Dark Lady is definitely one of the most important cards I could actually consider for playing in this particular deck. For level 4s, we're playing here the 1 Wicked Witch. Wicked Witch does a really fine job. It is enough for you to at least protect yourself in some form of way, but at the same time it also just allows you to just float into your bigger ships. Of course, we have to play here the 2 Farm Girl, definitely really amazing, just a great card to help you finish off your opponent, and yeah, there's really not much else to say about her. At 2 copies, she's definitely very amazing. I'm only playing 1 copy here of Sword Troopers. You might be thinking, why am I not playing 2 copies, because normally you could actually loop it. Well, this particular build is not the Fire King version of it, it's more of a pure build for Kozmos, so as a result, 1 Sword Troopers does enough for me. There's no need to actually go for a Sword Trooper loop here because I'm not necessarily playing the Fire King build, which would work better if I was actually playing 2 Sword Troopers in that particular variant. Next, of course, I'm playing here 2 copies of Strawman. Again, another amazing card, definitely a really good card, summons out any of your banished Kozmos, and it's just a great way to also extend your plays. Without a doubt, we're playing here 3 copies of Tin Can, definitely really amazing, starts you off, and at the same time, even if you're going second, it's still a really good card to have out on the field because your opponent just has quite a bit of a excessive time, I guess, using up their resources to just deal with the Tin Can. Now here's something that I actually kind of added in as a bit of a spicy tech, and that would be the Sciframe Engine. This is something that I wanted to try out for the deck itself, and it has been working out quite well for me. I was thinking about playing other hand traps like Ash or Effect Veiler, but Gamma is not bad because think about this for a second. You're playing Kozmos, a deck that has a lot of high level monsters, and yes, even though we're playing pilots, we are playing a very minimal amount. I think there's only 6 pilots in the deck. So because of that, the remaining majority of your deck is all high level monsters, so you're not going to have anything on the field. Going for a Gamma here is actually going to be quite the defensive move, and it would be quite effective because there will be some turns where you might brick and you might not have any monsters on the board at all, but as long as you have the Gammas in the hand, you could definitely just pull off a lot of great things as well. Now moving on to spells, we're definitely going to be playing 3 copies here of Kozmo Town, a really great card for the deck itself, crucial, and it just sets you up so well for everything later on. I would actually also include here the 1 copy of terraforming, just because I really want the consistency to take the maximum effect, so it's just a really nice combination. Moving on, we're playing more so a bit of a techie kind of thing. We're playing here a Dark Hole. Now, if you're wondering why am I not playing Raigeki, well, Raigeki doesn't actually combo off. Dark Hole is actually a combo card that allows you to work things out. So you could destroy your own Kozmos and then chain off by floating into your lower ones, which definitely just works out really well here. And you'd be surprised to see how well Dark Hole actually works over Raigeki. Raigeki, sure, it gets rid of your opponent's board, but even then, they could easily just have monsters that are immune to destruction, so it wouldn't really work out. Whereas in this case, even if your opponent's monsters are immune, you could actually just use the Dark Hole on your side of the field to kind of destroy your own monsters and set yourself off. Of course, we're also playing here a Pot of Avarice. I'm playing 1 copy of it because we could easily just return monsters back into the deck. Now, this card is kind of an iffy card for the sense that most of your Kozmos are going to be banished anyway, so what monsters would you have in the graveyard? But believe it or not, by playing Xyz monsters in the deck, you're detaching your monsters and putting them in the grave. I wanted some kind of way to actually return them back into the deck again, so because of that, the Pot of Avarice actually works out really well, allowing me to not fear going for Xyz summons, because I have detach effects, putting the Kozmo monsters into my graveyard. Next, of course, we're playing here Monster Reborn. It's self-explanatory. Although your monsters are getting banished, like I said, you're playing Xyz monsters, some of your Kozmo monsters will just go to the graveyard, so Monster Reborn definitely works out. We're also playing here Mind Control, bit of a disruptor, allows you to just take your opponent's monsters and go for a link play, which is definitely fantastic. We're also playing here the Caught by the Grave, kind of self-explanatory for what it is because of the fact that it is just a nice disruptor that I wish was back at 3. Moving on, we're playing here 1 copy of E-Telly and 1 copy of 1-for-1. Makes sense, this is our tin can opener, I guess, and this here will just bring out any of your lower pilots, which is absolutely amazing. Now moving on to trap cards, we're going to be playing here 3 copies of Cosmojo, that is. Definitely a really nice card to actually incorporate, and at 3 copies I still have no complaints about it. We're also playing over here 2 copies of Escape from the Dark Dimension, a new tech that I've actually been trying out, definitely working out quite well for me. I really like what it actually does, and having this in the deck just allows you to do so much on the board, you know, so really great extender there. But with that being said, this is pretty much it for the main deck itself. I want to actually mention that you guys could actually play Trap Trick in this deck itself as well, because you have Cosmojo and Escape. Well, Escape you can't really go for, but you can go for the Cosmojo, and you could also play the, what was the card? I think it was one of the virus cards, but basically if you play Trap Trick in the deck, it could really work out. It's just that right now we're lacking the amount of normal trap cards in the deck, but if you wanted to focus on a more heavy trap card focus there, then you could actually incorporate Trap Trick in the deck as well, which would be quite fantastic. I might try that out for a separate build, but for the time being, it's just a suggestion that I'm offering to you guys. Another alternative suggestion I could suggest you guys actually put in would be Pot of Acquisitiveness. If you guys don't feel comfortable playing the Pot of Avarice, then feel free to put in an Acquisitiveness, and you could actually just recycle your banished cards, which would be quite fantastic there. But with that being said, let's move on to the extra deck. So on with the extra deck over here, we're going to be playing a couple of Xyz monsters and then some Link monsters as well. So we're just playing a nice rank 5 toolbox. So we have Pleiades, we have Terrace, we have here Shark Fortress, Durandal, we have here an Adrius, we have here the number 6-1 Volcasaurus, and of course we also have our Gachi. Just a good variety of cards we could actually go for, definitely really amazing of course. And then we can't forget about the Cyber Dragon engine, definitely really amazing. And yeah, the fact that we're playing so many level 5s, we're playing 6 level 5s in the deck, of course, which is a really big amount, but you know, it just makes the rank 5 toolbox so much stronger in this particular variant. For Link monsters, we're going to be playing here the Unchained Abomination. You could play any kind of Link 4 monster you actually want to, it's no big deal. It's just this is my particular preference for the fact that Unchained Abomination has an effect that also allows you to destroy your own card as well, which is definitely really amazing. So I love the card, it works out quite well for the deck. We're playing Triple Burst because it does piercing damage. You just want to finish off your opponents. We're playing here the Nightmare Unicorn, bit of a toolbox card, allowing you to spin cards back to your opponent's deck. And of course, we're also playing here the Phoenix and the Cerberus whenever we actually need to. And don't worry, we're just discarding cards into the graveyard because we have our Pot of Avarice anyway. So the Nightmares actually work out quite well for the deck. And finally, we're playing the Akashic Magician. Again, another card that allows you to just bounce back your opponent's cards. Really amazing, and it's quite pesky for your opponent to actually deal with. But with that being said, this is pretty much it for the entire deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are actually celebrating May the 4th, because it is obviously Star Wars Day. However, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, definitely drop a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.